So when I'm talking about sugar, blood sugar, and sugar addiction, I carry with me these two rubber balls because they're small and they make an important point that people really need to understand. So people often think when we're talking about sugar that we're talking about a thing, but you need to understand that sugar is a disaccharide. That means it's comprised of two molecules. And I demonstrate that with a green ball and a red ball. Why do I do that? Because sugar is comprised of two molecules, glucose, which is a good thing. So that's why I use the green ball for glucose and good and go. And fructose, which is a bad thing. And that's why I use a red ball for stop. And I often call it the F word. So, table sugar is a molecule of each of these bound together, equal proportion. Glucose is the energy that every living thing on the planet needs. So you ingest sugar, and the half of it that is glucose goes into your blood sugar, is carried by insulin into your cells for energy. You use it, you have energy, it burns up, and eventually you eat again. If you take 100 calories of glucose, 80 of them will be used as energy in your body, and 20 of them will be stored as fat in your liver. That's in contrast to fructose. Fructose goes directly to your liver, where it is either turned into belly fat or triglycerides, circulating fats in your blood, neither of which you want to have. So the goal is to take fructose out of your diet if you don't want to have belly fat and fat in your blood. The other problem with fructose is that fructose that is the addictive component of sugar. Not glucose. Your brain doesn't care about glucose at all. But fructose is like cocaine. It goes straight to your brain, and it's what makes you not be able to resist sugar. It's the fructose. So, sugar, disaccharide bound together in a relationship of 50-50. The bad news is that from a sugar addiction point of view, this also means that you can't have honey, maple syrup, and agave nectar if you don't want to have the cravings that you can't resist. Because the fructose is what's talking to your brain, and fructose is in all of those substances. And it is so confusing for people because it is true that if you don't deal with the sugar addiction issues, honey, maple syrup, and agave nectar is a little bit controversial these days, but it is true that those are natural sweeteners. And some people may think they're doing a good thing when they turn to them as a natural sweetener. But if they're suffering with the addiction piece, it's going to be just as hard for them. So they need to understand this concept about fructose. Now let's talk about high fructose corn syrup for a minute, because you hear, the evils of high fructose corn syrup. That debate is not over yet. So some people say that it's evil, it's made us fat, it's the cause of the obesity epidemic. Other people say not so fast. It really is metabolized the same way as sugar in the body. The issue is that we're having both too much sugar and too much high fructose corn syrup, that we've just gone crazy on sweets. The answer is not clear yet. Some researchers do say, however, that because in fructose the molecules are not bound together, that they are more quickly absorbed into your body and cause bad things to happen faster. I don't know. Stay tuned on that one. I think we're beginning to see that sugar is about at the state that tobacco was 20 or 25 years ago in terms of research and government position and policy. So there's contradictory information. There's a lot of research going on, and I think there'll continue to be a lot of research. Personally, I'm a recovered sugar addict, and when I was able to take fructose out of my diet, it took with it all of the cravings that I had. And that's why I'm passionate about trying to explain to people what it is they need to avoid, especially from an addictive point of view. So I hope you found this useful, and I hope that you can also use this kind of a demonstration with your clients. Oh, and I forgot to add, I always put in the public service announcement for fruit. This happens to be a candle that I carry with me, because Mother Nature knew what she was doing when she packaged fructose, which is fruit sugar, in fruit. And it came with all kinds of fiber and water and phytonutrients. And back in the day, as they say, fruit was really only available for a short period of time each year, right before the winter. And that was purposeful, so that people would put on weight before the winter and be able to survive. Nowadays, the issue is that we have fruit all year round because it's being imported from all of the tropical climates. So it's hard for people to stay away from fruit. Now, from an addictive point of view, sugar is generally not a problem in moderation. My rule of thumb is 2 servings of fruit a day. I think if a person is trying to get off from sugar and is substituting fruit, you can go up to 5 and then kind of cut back as you go through the withdrawal and get away from sugar. I hope you found this useful. My brand is Simply Sugar Free. I have a 7-step process for overcoming sugar addiction, and you can find me on the web at www.simplysugarfree.com. You can follow me on Twitter at #SimplySugarFree, and I also have a page on Facebook /SimplySugarFree. Bye-bye.